I'd like to call to order the Pleasant Grove City Council this work session on this February 1st, 2022. And welcome everybody who've joined us here. We usually don't have this many people in our gallery here from on work session here. But we welcome you here, and we know why you're here, so we'll move directly into our first item of business on our work session, and would be swearing in of the new officers by Kathy.
Individual pictures, whatever you want to do. The time is yours.
Grab some pictures real quick. I'm going to sign these papers before you go down.
Which one are you?
Just stand there in the middle. Okay.
Wait, we lost one.
Officer Costa.
If they do this with their families.
What family? You are Eugene and Jim.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yes. Thank you.
You only have one shot at taking a picture.
Yeah.
It's mine, but go ahead. I can take one too.
Chief, can you have them come up and just talk to us before they leave?
Sorry, what?
Can you just have the officers come up and just talk to us before they introduce themselves? Oh, okay, sorry, I wasn't,
That's okay.
I saw some of them leaving, so I wasn't sure.
Well, they did when they got hired, they all came in.
They all came in.
I think I was gone.
Oh.
If they already did, then it's fine.
Oh,
Two or three, there's one that we haven't met.
Okay, that's fine. Hello.
hi.
How's it going?
Doing good. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I'm Jerem Hendricks. I grew up in Springville. Went to Springville High School, and I'm married, have a kid, and one on the way. So, yep. So that's pretty much me.
Well, we always welcome a red devil in our community.
Yes, I am a red devil through and through.
I don't know that we've ever welcomed them in. I think this is a first.
No, it's the cavemen we don't appreciate.
That's
That's
right.
right.
That's right.
Be a red
Oh,
devil.
That's right.
sorry, Kathy. So,
So,
Well, thank you.
yeah.
we,
Thanks for having me.
we gratefully you you picked Pleasant Grove to come and be an officer in our community.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Okay.
So,
All right, we look forward to seeing you out there.
perfect.
Okay, anything else you'd like to add?
No, I'm excited to get started. So,
Okay,
All right.
sounds good.
okay, thank you.
All right, thank all of you who came here for this evening, so. So with that, we'll move on to our next item tonight and I believe Daniel will come forward, Daniel, and we'll talk about our downtown, which we're all really concerned about and interested. Thanks, Chief.
Mayor, Council, just allow me to connect to the computer, and we'll start. The coolest part about my wallpaper is everybody comes to my office, thinks that that's me, but no, that's the Microsoft thing. But I would like to say that it was me.
Well, let's just go with that.
Right? It's a good picture. All right, so I'm gonna start, Mayor and Council, with a map of our downtown zone. This is gonna help us locate ourselves, like analyze a little bit the area, see what we have, and what we currently have. This is a map of our downtown. Right now, in our downtown, we catalog, or we think of our downtown as a commercial zone. Okay, and we have two sub-districts in our downtown. I'm gonna make it a little smaller so we can see the entire map. Didn't mean to do that. Okay, so I prepared this map to show us how our downtown is this is the zoning of our downtown. Okay, there we go. That's better. Okay, so I'm gonna use this laser, or should I use the mouse better? Use the mouse, it's better. Use the mouse, okay. So in our downtown, we have two sub-districts right now. We have our commercial sub-district, which is this green area, okay? We have a cookie factory. We have a mix of uses right now. This is where we are located right now, okay? This is our park, and right here, this is Main Street. Going up and down, this street right here is Center Street. That will help us locate ourselves. So we have two areas. We have the commercial sub-district of our downtown, and we have our buffer right here, okay? In our buffer, we just recently talked about reducing that buffer, making it smaller, and right now, as how it is, it goes all the way where this dotted line is. But this in the works, that's changing. So we're changing, reducing that buffer between our commercial uses and our residential uses. This area right here is gonna end up being single family. So that's what we have right now. Now, we had a conversation last city council meeting where we were discussing now the type of uses that are allowed within this green area, specifically along our two main streets, which the name of it is Main Street and Center Street, okay? So what staff has come up with is with a proposal to create a new sub-district that is gonna be called the Downtown Retail Sub-District. So we will not only have those two sub-districts, but we're gonna have a third one. And I'm gonna show you the location of the third one, where it's gonna be. Let me see if this is the map that I'm thinking. There we go. So the two areas of our downtown, is how it is, will stay the same, but now we will create that blue area right here, which includes frontage on State Street. Okay, this being Purple Turtle right here. So we include frontage on State Street. It will all the frontage of all the lots that are facing Main Street, and goes all the way right here till 100 and along Center Street. Meaning, now, in this specific area, the blue one or the new one that we are creating, certain uses will not be allowed anymore. And the uses that I'm talking about are office uses. Now, I have two options or two proposals, two ideas. Number one is that those uses are completely banned and not permitted, or that they are permitted but only as an accessory use and not in the main floor. Meaning, for example, someone wants to come with an office for, I don't want to come up with one that already exists, so I'm trying to think something else. An office for, that's not the one that but janitorial services, just to give us an idea, okay? Office for janitorial services, just offices, just offices. So we're saying they're not allowed in the main floor, but they will be allowed on second story. Only permitted uses will be right there. Now, I want to show you a list that I created, and I want to go through the uses because the main idea of this proposed ordinance is that we want to get more retail uses. So we got to understand what a retail use is. A retail use is everything that produces sales tax. There are uses that are things that are very compatible with our downtown that do not produce sales tax. For example, a tax office, something like when you go and you prepare your taxes, right? That produces a lot of foot traffic. People go to those places, but they do not produce sales tax. It's a service type of business. For example, a hair salon. Here you go, you get your hair done, a haircut, whatever. A haircut does not produce sales tax. If they sell you a shampoo, if they'll sell you gel, if they sell you any product for the hair, then it does. But a lot of those places usually just go and you get your service done, and then the money that you pay for getting a haircut or for getting a, what they do in comb your hair, whatever they do there, that money does not produce sales tax, okay? So I have a list of uses that I prepared for you guys that I want to show you. This list is all the uses that are currently permitted in our downtown.
These are currently permitted.
They're currently permitted. Now, I want to show you something, and I'm going to try, so, when a person comes to my office, one of our residents or a future business owner, and says, hey, I would like to apply for a business license, the first thing that my city planner says is, okay, let's see if the use is permitted in the zone. If it's not permitted, then it cannot be allowed unless you amend the code and then we include that into the permitted uses, okay? I have a long list of uses, as you guys can see. All those uses have a number here that tells me or gives me an idea what type of use it is. Every use that starts with a number 5 is retail or trade. For example, if I look into a motorcycles right here, this is a good example. Motorcycles, motor scooters, parts, accessories, and supplies. This, just by reading here motorcycle, motor scooters, parts, accessories, and supplies, doesn't mean that you can repair motorcycles. Because of the number right here, it tells me that you can only sell these parts, or it's a retail business that is allowed in the zone. Now, all the numbers that start with a 5, they're proposed to stay, because those are the ones that we get retail uses out of it, okay? Now, my uses that start with a number 6, these are services only. And we have a huge variety of them. For example, we have right here banks, and we actually have a bank right here on Main Street. Our bank is a permitted use right now. However, it's not a use that creates sales tax, okay?
So it would not be permitted in the new
Well,
definition.
with the proposal from staff is yes, only the uses that I mark are the ones that will not be allowed. So
the ones that are marked out.
exactly, only the mark. So what staff is proposing is to list certain uses that do not produce sales tax, but they're still generate foot traffic and are inherently that are good for a downtown, that most downtowns do have. For example, a bank, a dry cleaning, photographic services. So the staff is proposing, those are there are service uses, but staff is proposing to leave them as they are. They can even occupy the main story, unless I'm told otherwise, but this is the proposal. Clothing rental, we used to have right there a business for that rent beauty dresses and stuff like that. Those uses, like, they're okay to stay. However, a staff marks some uses that in the staff mind, they're not, they don't produce enough foot traffic. For example, and this is an office use, advertising services, kind of like a marketing office, okay?
Or what about, like a printer, like, we have PG printers and we have Copytech?
That area is not part of the blue that we mark out. So this is gonna be applied to only the blue.
Is though,
Pardon?
PG Printers is right on Main Street.
Sorry, I was confused with someone else.
I think Copytech. No, so Copytech.
I was thinking Copytech. My bad. Yes. So
But they do the same, it's a print, it's a.
yeah, that's one that won't be allowed anymore. It will make it non-conforming. That we won't kick them out, but we won't. We're not planning on receiving any more of those businesses. So that one can stay, but any other business will not be permitted unless it's on the second story. Use the first story for retail, and then you can have one of those on the second story.
But if people come on the first floor to make copies, why wouldn't that would be a service business, I would think, right?
Say that again.
I mean, if like,
But they're selling,
well, like Copytech, so you're saying Copytech would be a non-conformer?
No, if Copytech sell, I'm not very familiar with Copytech. Copytech is not in this area. We're talking about the one right here, right?
They're on
They do wedding invitations.
Yes. If they sell,
copying.
no, but if they sell, if you go and you pay for a copy and you take your copy and you go home with your copy, that's retail.
Oh, okay.
That's no sales. So what I'm talking about, that one is when you have a marketing company and then you go and you have only your office and then you don't produce
Got
any, you don't create, you create a website or you do something like that. Most of those uses, to be honest with you, right now is what people do home. They go home and they do those type of business. They have an office from home. This is only for marketing office, okay, that one. 6320, Consumer and Mercantile Credit Reporting Services, that's collection services, okay? Pretty much what I marked down are the uses that are just office only. Unless, for example, locksmiths and key shops, gunsmiths, all these uses will still be permitted in the main floor, even though they're services, but according to staff, they're good to be in a downtown zone. Pretty much what we're trying to eliminate are just uses that are office only, that you go, sit down, work in your computer, get out, go home. Those are the uses that we're eliminating. Now, they're not being completely eliminated. We're saying you can have an office, but make sure it's in the second story and you have a permitted use in the main floor, okay? So that's what that's what this boils down to. This one completely eliminated professional services, office only. This is anybody that comes to the city and says, hey, I would like to do X or Y type of business, but I only want a chair and a desk and that's it. That's that one right there, 6,500, okay? So if we can go, I can email you this copy, or we can go one by one. It's up to you. What do you think, Tina? Or we're doing good? We still have time. Should I keep going on the list?
You have time.
Okay. Here's another one that I eliminated, professional services. That one right there was put right there as an umbrella. When someone will come with any use that it was office only and is not classified in any of those, we'll say, you know what, just put it under there and office are permitted, okay? So we're trying to eliminate this. You can see right there, dental offices and service, they will still be permitted. So we're not taking all the uses. What we're saying pretty much is saying office uses in that new sub-district that we're creating, the retail sub-district, are permitted, but in the second story. We don't want offices on first story. That's pretty much what this proposal is saying. Now, I see a lot of, well, maybe not, but I see some questions. Please go ahead. I'm ready to answer the questions.
Just on a gut kick,
Turn your mic on. There. Thank you.
I like the idea. I don't know if we're being too restrictive.
Okay,
That's what we're debating.
I
that's
know.
good. Yeah. I'm taking notes and I'm going back to the desk and work on it. So this is just a proposal.
Like sir, so maybe the question I have is what's the intent? What's our goal here? Maybe I need to be clear on that.
I think from my perspective is to get people walking to stores on Main Street and actually purchasing items to support foot traffic on both sides, and that won't happen with professional office space. And we have plenty of other areas in the city for office space, but I think Main Street needs to be foot traffic, a downtown walkable area, and supporting both sides of the street so those businesses can thrive down there.
And I think part of the very thing we're talking about is to generate sales tax.
Yes.
And if we are not restrictive, these people are going to, these businesses or whatever is going to come here, many of which will not generate any sales tax, which we're seeing.
Yeah,
This proposed ordinance reflects the discussion that we had last meeting.
yes.
So it touches every single thing that we took notes and I went back and I touched every single thing that it was saying and it reflects that. So, and it's not that extremely restricted because we're not just taking the whole use away.
We're just saying move it to the next floor. Okay.
And not every use, only office use. The type of uses that you go sit in a desk is right there and then.
That wouldn't necessarily create foot traffic, and that wouldn't be sales tax generating.
Correct.
And
Correct.
then, those currently existing that may not fit will be grandfathered in.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay.
They will be legal
Non-conforming.
non-conforming.
So with the professional services, if somebody comes to you and says, I want to put this on the first floor, does that give them a conversation to come and we can talk about it? Because that seems like a very broad umbrella.
Well, if someone comes to me and said, it depends. Usually when they come to me, I get to the nitty-gritty of things. They just say, hey, I want to go professional. I usually go exactly what type of business we're talking about here, because I help them not just with planning and zoning, but also I manage business licensing. Are
Right.
you going to get a sales tax number? Exactly what type of business do you do? How many employees you're going to have? How much parking do you need? So at that time, I take a look at exactly what they're doing, and if I see that fits any of the other ones, then it will be permitted. If it doesn't, then I'll say it's not permitted use, but there's some space upstairs that you can use. Or we have different zones where you can operate your business.
Daniel,
Yes,
explain
sir.
this one. 6,800. Because you got some people that could fall into that. right?
Yes.
Because they service that industry.
Correct. That one I put it right here and I put some question marks. That one, I have it right here, but that's for technical schools.
I would see that as a commercial use, not as a service or retail.
It'd be very broad.
So if they're walking, so they go there daily,
I'm saying, let's use
but then they
Sylvan?
walk out.
Right here.
Sylvan Learning
Oh.
or University of Phoenix or.
So tutorial,
Do they
Yes.
generate?
Actually,
they
it's
ge-
very specific, or code.
Do they
It's very
generate?
specific on what
sales
those
tax?
are, and I'm gonna
They
show you
don't.
because this is the trick. This is the code that I see every time. So there you go. Educational services has nurseries, kindergartens, elementary, junior highs, denominational and secretarian schools, the schools for the handicapped, including the blind, military academies. Then you go to university colleges, kind of like you were saying, University of Phoenix, those type of schools. special training and schooling, like a dancing school, barber school, those type of, those do
don't
produce
generate
food
sales
traffic. I mean, as a student, you need to come, take some
generate
classes
sales
there, go home.
You
So,
pay tuition.
and it ends right here.
You don't ask for sales tax
Okay.
on top of tuition.
So it's very specific. That's why I didn't take it out, because I thought it would be good to have
So
maybe,
most of those are tax exempt, right?
yeah, some of them are taxes.
So let me just make sure that I'm in my head, right? So if you come to this place on 6830, you come to this place, you get educational services as an individual. Is that fair?
Yeah. And I, again, in the,
Not online training.
not online training, you come to this place, correct?
But you don't generate sales tax.
It doesn't, but it generates
Foot traffic.
a lot of foot traffic.
Okay, so we have limited space in this area you've designated, and let's assume this happens. Then you have to deal with the issue of parking.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, if it,
So are we going to have a university or college in this area with sufficient parking? The answer to that is no.
no. A
So
university,
why
no.
do we have it in there?
We
to
could have a
begin with?
trade school or something like that.
You're going to have parking problems.
So if they come and we talk always, how many students are you gonna have? That's the first question we ask when the school comes. How many students are you gonna have? X amount of students. Okay, how many of them are on the age of driving? And then we have regulation. If they meet the parking regulations, they can. If they don't, even though it's a permitted use, they cannot have it
You've got to have the parking.
because they don't have parking. I don't know if that answers it.
I would still say that this one, though, is not is tax exempt.
Okay.
So I would lean more on not,
I would strike the whole
Okay.
thing.
That's what that's great. So we can go right here and
is that okay?
I think the only thing that you would be excluding if we turned that off is a dance studio. Because I know there was a dance studio.
In the old post office.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that would be, we would literally be saying that.
we can set, we can, for example, cross out the whole 6800 and then just look what dance studio is, which should be like 6825 or something like that, and just put that one as permitted.
'Cause I'd be okay with a dance studio.
Okay?
That would be kind of like, along the lines of a hair studio or.
This is just me taking notes. It won't be
Yes.
like that.
But they could still go to the second floor.
True.
Yeah.
There we go.
But still, when that dance studio was there, it created a kind of a mess when they were through because cars were backed up around the corner,
Yeah.
Down First South to pick up all,
10 minutes at the top of every hour.
yeah. But anyway, okay.
The dropping off and the
It's not.
picking up.
So that's the proposal. That's what we have. I don't
All
know
right,
if you
scroll down a little bit more.
scroll down. Okay. That's pretty much it. And then we go to 700 uses. And those are for civil uses, civil and entertaining uses.
So that we're not talking about.
Yeah, that's when we talk about the park, we talk about these buildings, civil buildings, fire department, things like that. Okay?
So which other ones were we striking? Go back up and,
So we'll be
so
striking,
this is the existing one now, right? Okay.
we'll be striking office uses in general. We'll be striking educational services with the exception of dance studios. We'll be striking
So what falls under professional services when you drill down on it?
any use, any office use that it doesn't match a specific one. For example, someone who wants to have a school for, this is crazy, but it happens. Someone wants to have a school to train hawks, because it happened one time to me. So that we don't have anything on there. So, but because we have professional services, we'll be like, you know what? Fine, if you want to have an office to train hawks, sure, go for it. That
I
love
know
those.
that family.
Or we also call uses that are nowhere else classified. Okay, so we don't have that. We won't have that liberty anymore to do something like that.
And so this is all existing buildings, so if a building were to be torn down, they would no longer be grandfathered in, that new building would be under these restrictions, is that correct? This code?
No, they have. Do you want to go ahead?
So the state law changed a few years ago regarding non-conforming uses, and it's very limited in what we can restrict. So if they were going to build a new structure, I believe they would be able to do that now under the state code.
Is that something we could verify and find out?
Yeah, but
You're pretty sure?
I'm 99.9.
However, Tina, correct me if I'm wrong, there's a part in
They
the law.
can't expand the use, like if they
Correct.
couldn't build a bigger building, but they could rebuild what they had.
But if the use, say, let's say that someone has a use that is not permitted, any use that is not permitted, and they stop operating for 6 months,
Yeah.
then they lose it. They lose
They
the.
can extinguish it by
Correct.
non-use.
by
But if,
non-use.
if, for example, some non-conforming use was remodeled, they could still keep that use. If they tried to expand their footprint significantly or do something significantly different, they would be prohibited from doing that.
Would
Okay.
you go back to the map quick?
Yes, ma'am.
And then when you say it hasn't been used for 6 months, so is that like a vacant building?
Yeah.
So once we change this,
So once we change this, if a building's vacant for 6 months and they haven't put it to the non-conforming use, then we can consider it extinguished.
then they fall under the new
And
code.
they would fall under the new.
Yes. Okay. That one, Council Anderson, is that the map that you want to see? Yeah, okay.
So if I'm going down Second South, okay. Because I do know that there is a project that's being torn down, that's going to be torn down and they're going to rebuild it, but it looks like they're, so on Second South, the Copytech, where is Copytech?
Oh, that's
They're
gonna be
outside the
right
zone.
here.
Okay,
That's outside that's the one that I got confused earlier with the other printer. Yeah.
okay.
It's outside. So the one that we are creating is this area right here.
That color there.
That area right there.
Okay.
Anything else, council? Be okay? Okay.
Okay,
And-
now, the next step will be either, so that's the proposal, we either now put it through the machine and bring it to the planning commission, eventually create a law and bring it in front of you guys, or you guys would like me to go back and make some changes and then bring it to planning commission. Whatever direction I take from you guys, that's what I will.
I would make a suggestion down on the lower, if you look, put your pointer down there, in fact, as if I had one. Oh, it's right here. I got one right here. Okay. In this area right here, why not move it over to the State Street? This area right here.
Yes, we
Yeah.
can do that, for sure.
I
Okay.
would,
Agreed,
I would
Amen.
suggest that.
agreed.
I think we've
Good work,
We've
good work, Brent.
mentioned that.
Good work, Brent.
So all the way down Second South then, right?
Yeah,
all the way down Second to
That'd be
State.
a good idea.
yeah. I would move it over. I would move it to Second South. You're talking right here? Yep, yep.
Okay.
Nope,
Up
bigger.
No, I got it, I just need to add a new point to it, it will take me a little bit, but I understand. So you
Over.
wanted to,
Over
To
to Second
extend-
South.
this
Yes.
line to go right here,
Yes.
Correct.
okay?
Yeah.
We can do that.
Thank you.
What zone is not the zone that we're talking, so
I-
wait, so are we
But,
gonna
but,
have?
but
a-
just so we know,
Do we go
Tina, I have had discussions with the owner,
to Geneva, but
Council
also
Bullock,
to
I
State
have
Street.
discussions with the owner of this property right here, and he wants to actually rezone and stay away from, eventually we'll come to you guys, but I have those discussions, that he would like to rezone that and stay, and take himself out of the downtown zone and become commercial one. So he's talking to me at this point. Whatever he decides to do, if he decides to rezone, it will become in front of you guys. We can rezone it right now, but what I'm saying is in the talks.
Okay, I'll talk to you afterwards.
So that section right now would now be zoned as what, Daniel?
This one?
What is
this-
this zone called?
Yeah, what is that zone called?
Right now is the downtown, but he would
But
like to go.
if it, manufacturing?
No, it will be commercial.
Commercial
It'd be,
sales.
it would be
Commercial
commercial with the
sales.
change, with the proposed change?
Yes. But the applicant's still thinking what to do and how to approach this, but yes, he has approached that.
So question, so, you know, we're gonna move this point to here,
Mm-hmm.
and this point to
I think I can move it
here,
right now, then.
But should it be up into here? Frontage? Should it be north and south
Okay.
sides of Second?
Now, if I move this one right here, this guy's property, for example, when he comes to me or to staff, he won't be able to have any office uses. We got that part, right? Okay. Because now everywhere I can move that. We can move it right here. I don't have to add a new, maybe, but
Wait,
there we go. Is that better? Is that what you guys were? Something like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let's just hold this for just a minute.
yeah. And also,
There you go.
well, I'm anxious to hear what the general plan conversation goes, especially with redevelopment. I am very interested in what that looks like going all the way to Second South.
You know what? On Monday, we had
A drive around.
a drive around, a field trip. Scott came with us, and we spent a lot of time driving around here and going through all these ones. So we'll work on it. For sure, it's one of the ones that we're definitely working on it. Right now, we're working on it right now.
All right.
I guess my question, and it actually doesn't need to be answered here, but should, you know, you kept it here, right? Which kind of protects this area,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then I'm okay with this being something else. But then this maybe should be service / generating revenue, tax generating. I don't know. I think we, I don't know if
Well-
it has to be that big of area right there, but I do want the frontages of this road, and this road to be retail /
Okay.
services.
So, and that's what I say, I kind of need some time to change the map, but I can do it. So this comes right here, and see if I got a commissioner. I think I'm talking to my planning commission. Council Williams, bring it all the way to right here, that's how it was, and then bring another layer right here, like another arm. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah,
I'll do
is that better? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and I think, but
Well, let me see if I can do it right now, but while you guys discuss that, I see if I can make it happen.
What, Diana?
and I'm also, I'm thinking of crossing state and going down Geneva.
Down this way, down in here.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if we're protecting,
I'd still do north and south of that, Bill.
Say that again, Council?
Well, you know, that kind of ends there, doesn't it?
Yes.
So that's the Ace Hardware right
Yeah,
there.
and then you got the bungalow right there,
Yeah.
so. We trust you.
Okay.
You kind of know where we do.
See what the planning commission does with it.
Once I get my mouse, I'll do, so pretty much what I will do is just keep it as it is right here and then bring another stripe of land right here that goes like this.
Yeah.
Correct? Yeah,
Yeah.
I can do it.
Okay.
sure.
Anything else for Daniel? Okay, thanks, Daniel.
My pleasure, Mayor.
So we'll, that concludes what we have for that. Now we'll move on for our work items, and we'll move into the director's reports. If anyone would like to come forward, and Sherry, you're at the back there. We'll let you go first this time. Then everybody has to compete against you. There's always good stuff going on at the library.
You're packed.
We do have a lot going on at the library, but I did want to tell you that it's small compared to everybody else's grants, but we did get a $2,000 grant for COVID supplies, so that can be tests, masks, hand sanitizer, whatever we want that way. Which is nice, we'll stock up.
Yeah.
So that would be, so could they come, talking about COVID, could they come to the parking lot and get Wi-Fi?
Well, they can now, but
Oh, they can now, but it's kind of not very good.
it's good enough, a lot of people do, and enough to make the police nervous.
Okay, all right. Okay, well, thank you. Marty?
Once we get fiber cable in there, they'll be parking in everybody's houses.
Things are going well. Moving forward, we've just busy projects. We're getting everything planned. Having fun with Utopia and trying to coordinate a few, get some things that were done with some of our utilities. We'll have another good discussion with them on that. It's always fun. We've got 11 or 12 crews going right now, and sometimes they have multiple crews. Just staying ahead of them has been a good challenge for us. We got with Utopia a couple weeks ago, and they're trying to help us a little bit with some of the blue staking. They've got up their kind of their upper blue stakers, some of their tenured blue stakers down here helping us. We're trying to figure out how to best utilize them. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult when we don't have tracer wire, we don't have things that they're used to using to be able to trace utilities. Sometimes our older and even some of our newer stuff is a little bit hard to find. And so we're having a good challenge there in keeping them moving and productive and without doing too many damages to other utilities and facilities. So, other than that, looking at north meeting tonight or a bit last week, we got the bid agreement last summer. Looking at where you're at and looking forward to that project moving forward. The well driller is getting close. We're closing on the bond tomorrow. And then issue that notice of award, and well, notice of award actually is issued. We're just waiting for the contractor to get ready to come. Finishing up the final walkthrough tomorrow on the prepping of the site for the well drilling. So if you went out there, you'd see that we've got the whole basin active and getting ready for that drilling rig to come and sit on that site and start drilling. So things are moving well there as well as it can be. So.
That's an impressive site we got down there, so.
Yeah, it'll be a good little project, and we're trying to get some information out to the public down there. We've got a little notice that we need to send out to those residents directly to the west of that site to make sure that they're aware of what the project is and what to expect. And we do have a 24-foot tall sound wall that's planned to be put up between the drill rig and that property specifically just to the west of that. So hopefully that'll help mitigate a lot of that noise when it is a 24/7 drilling process. So that'll be a little bit of a challenge, I think, but at the same time, you can't stop a drill in the middle of its drill, and we're going down about 1,500 feet. So it's going to take a little bit of time to get through that. But yeah, so things are going well and moving forward. So.
Yeah, we'll probably get a call saying, how come they're drilling for oil in our community?
Yes,
So
they might.
I will just tell them, no, it's natural gas, so it's no big.
It's in lieu of the lack of sales tax, is why we're doing it.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Marty.
Okay, thank you.
We'll talk to you more about 1100 North when we bring it up tonight on the award. So Chief Roberts. Hey, if you can, would you kind of fill us in about our big, we had quite a commotion down on 1100 North and 1300 West. You kind of give us what kept everybody busy for a while there?
Sure. We had one of our locals. He was pretty high on methamphetamine. He was driving a 3/4 ton Dodge pickup truck, which is quite a heavy truck. He was doing over 100 miles an hour. He lives up on East 1100 North. He was traveling east on 1100 North and just blew the stop sign completely at 1300 West and broadsided a guy in a Tesla. Flipped the truck over a couple times. The truck landed on its top. The Tesla was just demolished. And it's actually a testament to Tesla because the guy fire chief would probably tell you more than I could about his condition, but the guy should be dead. And I think he walked away with just a broken collarbone, but it took him probably over an hour to cut him out of the Tesla. The guy was on parole. He had an ankle bracelet on as soon as he was able to get out of the vehicle and took off on foot, and we caught him up the block a little bit and were able to take him into custody, and so he's now down at the county jail on several charges. But really, the guy in the Tesla's super lucky. I mean, he should be dead. So it's a testament to that car. So I've heard several people since then say that they're going to invest in a Tesla. So
There was only one person in the.
yeah.
In the
Yeah. Other than that, we've been pretty busy. We're down the 3 guys that you just saw. They're still, all 3 are on field training, so we're trying to cover those shifts with overtime, and it's quite difficult, but we're moving along and just taking calls as we can.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Tyler, you have anything for us tonight?
First off, I apologize for the sweats. That's my workwear, and I was running late anyways. I usually get to go home and put on some slacks for this meeting, so I apologize. So we're busy. It's the new year, and there's a lot going on. We're in the process right now of replacing the assistant recreation director. Brett has found other employment with the Fat Cats organization. You guys are familiar with them. They're expanding throughout the western states, and he found a good opportunity there. And so
Nope, I haven't stopped crying.
it's a big loss for us at the rec center. He was a tremendous resident of Pleasant Grove forever, and he will be missed. But we're in the process right now. We'll have review next week, and then we'll start interviews for that.
How long do we have Brett before,
He will be finished next week.
so
So.
there won't be an overlap?
There won't. Yep. So, today we started a bunch of new registrations. Adult basketball for spring started today. We have 16 spots. They filled up today. All 16 teams filled up today.
Holy smokes.
It's women's volleyball. We filled up 2 divisions of that. There's 24 teams across that. So the demand's there, and then we're trying to meet the demand, we're all hands on deck right now because there's a lot going on. So
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Chief? You know, you weren't very busy on Saturday night, so you had to make up for it.
Yeah, we were a little busy Saturday. It was kind of one of those interesting days. But yeah, that accident we had, you're talking about 1100 North, dispatch kind of messed up, and we didn't get our pages on our phones, because usually we use the radios all the time, but my wife usually gets mad at me all the time if the radio's going off. So they page on our phones, but they messed up and didn't do it. And Chief Gusman was the only one who caught it, so he went down to that accident. And so I didn't know what was going on. I was clueless for a while. And the next text I get from Chief was like, "Hey, I'm buying a Tesla." It's like, all right, hey, let me see what I can, it was just kind of, I'm like, what's going on? Then he sent me some pictures, and it's like, holy smokes. But yeah, it was a pretty significant impact, and that car did real well, and that gentleman's extremely lucky.
You just got T-boned then, right?
Got T-boned, and he got pinned in there. His legs were kind of pinned in there. It took him a while to get him out. I mean, Tesla's a little different car. You're looking at batteries. There's all different kinds of things you're looking at, trying to figure out, just a different kind of an animal when you start getting into extrication, doing stuff like that. So,
And I bet you haven't got to practice
and
on.
there's not very many of them around to actually do stuff. So it's kind of a learn and go along as you practice. So but he got him out. They got him out, and he walked away. And like Chief Robert said, I think all I had was a broken clavicle, and so he's extremely lucky.
Wow.
Yeah.
If you buy a Tesla, you need a long extension cord. That's the downside. That's the downside.
That's true.
Yeah.
Exactly. They do make some electric fire trucks, but I can't go there yet. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, so they did that, and like I said, just like Chief Rob, we're just busy. We're still fully staffed, but we're just medic-wise for us is our biggest thing. Curtis Hutchinson's still in school. Hopefully, he'll be graduating the next few months, so that'll help us out quite a bit in staffing and keeping, our ambulances at least 2 in service all the time. This last month, we had 205 calls this last month, which is probably one of our busiest months that we can come up with on record, at least coming up. So we keep, for some reason, just slowly kind of keep creeping up. The guy's doing a real good job covering shifts, keeping up on those things. So, you know, kudos to the guys. Saturday was a busy day. You know, we honored Chief Coach Henry. We were there. Old Joe made it the whole way. Old Joe did what he was supposed to, which was great. You know, I think he looked good in that. So, you know, I think you guys saw the route to take him up through the high school and back over there. So that was kind of fun doing that.
Yeah.
And got that done. Then that night we had our New Year's party, I guess you want to call it, Saturday night at doTERRA. They let us do that, which was really good. I think most of you guys were there, which is kind of fun. Got some guys out, you know, some of the retired guys were there, and I think they had a good time. And passed out some awards. I can tell you, you know, you were there, but Robert Frill, one of our part-time guys, these are voted by the guys in the department. He got Firefighter of the Year, and then so did Zach Larson from the guys in the station. They voted him in as Fireman of the Year. So that was kind of fun to do that. One other thing I was thinking about was, I know Sarah had talked to Councilman Jensen about, we're going to start working on doing some CPR stuff for the community and getting out and getting some AEDs, hopefully, with some of these businesses, have a little program to where if they get an AED at whatever price we can get them at, we'd go out and teach the businesses, all their employees CPR for free that first year and do that. So hopefully we can get out and start doing more of that stuff. And I think things are loosening up. This COVID thing is slowly kind of, you know, hopefully slowly petering the other way a little bit so we can get out and do more things like that and people get up. But that's kind of what our goal is this time, get some of that, get more community stuff going and things like that. So but other than that, everything's going good. Engine's still on track for March. But like I say,
March the 21st, is that?
yeah, something like that. But like I say,
That's a Monday.
I'm not holding my breath. I'm just going to say that's what he's saying. But
Strawberry days?
it's there, and there's color on it. That's actually got some red and gray on it, so they're doing something to it. And yeah, other than that,
The engine's there, so that's kind of a basic thing, and the
Yeah.
transmission, so
Yeah.
anyway. And it does have wheels, so. Okay, we'll just see what happens. Thanks, Chief.
yeah, thank you.
And I thought it was great, Chief Roberts also on the other agencies that helped participate and gave us assistance. Says a lot when they come to our aid there on these special things, so thank you for all your work on that, too. So, let's see. Daniel, do you have anything else for community development for tonight?
Nothing specific, but
Any new businesses that we don't know about?
probably. It's nothing specific, but what I'm doing, so we have our meeting on Friday, and I'm
Yeah.
calling some developers and asking them about what the status of their business is
That'd be
in
great.
regards to where they are with building. A lot of them they go through the process. They're really antsy about it, and once they get it, they face other challenges, and then they don't start construction. So, in case you want me to call someone in particular and ask, I'm calling some of them, and I'll hope to give you a good report on Friday.
Okay,
Builders are out about 2 years.
about two.
About, yeah,
Okay, thanks, Daniel.
my pleasure, man.
All right, Denise, do you have anything?
No, just working on stuff for Friday.
Yeah, we're all working on stuff for Friday. Kathy, you have anything? Tina, do you have anything else?
Just to let you know that I did talk to the attorneys that have been in litigation with the Green Grove Apartments and the two commercial pieces on that front on PG Boulevard. Access has been an issue for years, and those two pieces, they were sold off and they couldn't develop. And there is a proposed settlement agreement, which if it gets resolved, then those two parcels might be developing in the near future.
Oh, it's great.
It's commercial.
It has to be.
But they were saying that was their road.
Yeah,
do-
there was a dispute about whether or not those two parcels had the right to access the main drive that goes into Green
Yeah.
Grove Apartments. And so I believe they're working on a resolution to that.
Okay. Kyler, do you have anything for us this evening?
If you have people who are looking for jobs, right now we have 6 full-time jobs open with the city, and our summer jobs we're starting to put out there, the pool's open. And I think we're going to have parks open in a week or two for summer. So if you have individuals who might be looking, now is a good time. We have a lot of jobs.
And And what's the applicant count for Marty's job right now?
None that are as good as Marty, but that's gonna be a hard number to, I think right now we're about a dozen.
A dozen?
applicants.
Okay. Well, I think that finishes all of our director's business for this evening, so if not, we will ask for a motion to end our work session.
So moved.
Have a motion by Councilmember Jensen. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Bullock. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we'll be adjourned till 6